Hi, Genki Call here with your Soulforge offerings for the week of March 6, 2023. But before we go in, something very important to point out, and that is Ironhawk is going to be in the Soulforge within the next 2 weeks. He is not there or it is not there right now, but if you have been waiting, Ironhawk will be there either next week or the week after. These are the remaining Soulforge mythics that you're seeing on the screen. Thank you very much to King Ollie, as always. And yeah, so let's get in there now and see what we do have available, because I have not looked yet. All right, so for legendaries, we have Garnok. He is going to do 1 true damage to all allies, create 7 red and 7 brown gems boosted by orc allies, and summon an orc troop. Now, I think that the reason that he does damage to allies is because there is a mythic from Groshnak that gets a boost off of damaged allies, I believe. Anyway, the thing that's really significant about him is that he gives all orc allies a 50% mana start, but how often do we use the orcs? They can loop. They can loop very nicely, but generally speaking, people don't favor the orc troops. Then we've got Sir Quentin Hadley. We have another troop here that gives a 50% mana start, this time to knights. Super, super good if you're using Guard's Avatar, especially with that 50% mana start. He also converts purple gems to yellow and green gems to skulls and does damage to 2 random enemies. This is one of the really, really good double convert troops. Really like this one, and not just because of the 50% mana start for knights. Then we've got Matron Dragotani. She can be a real pain to fight because she has 75% skull damage reduction. She does not have skull damage reduction, but if you're trying to kill her with spells, she just won't die! Anyway, create 6 gems boosted by frozen enemies with an extra 2 damage per frozen enemy, so a max of an additional 8 damage to the first and last enemies boosted by blue gems. Right, boosted by... wait. Okay, so... right. Create 6 blue gems boosted by frozen enemies, so you can get an extra 8. You can get up to an extra 8 blue gems, and then the damage is boosted by blue gems on the board. So it's not bad. It does do damage to more than one enemy, but in general, I would never recommend spending 800 diamonds for her. And then we have King Heliodor. King Heliodor does true damage to the first enemy, boosted by brown gems and allies, then knocks them to the back and creates 3 elemental stars. The elemental stars, when matched, will destroy gems in an X shape, and when matched. He also gives 5 life to all elemental allies when matching brown gems. And he has skull damage reduction by 50%. And creates a brown gem at the start of the turn. So you put 3 King Heliodors on a team, he can be pretty damaging. A little slow, but he can do a lot of damage. Alright, let's scroll back up and check out these mythics. Queen Aurora. Now, the reason why Queen Aurora is significant is only because she is from Silverglade. Silverglade is one of the magic kingdoms, and you really want to power up your magic kingdoms as much as possible so that you can get that extra magic boost for your entire team across the board. She gives life to all other allies. Wait, she gives all other allies barrier and life that does not apply to herself. Then she creates 10 gems of whatever color you want. You also get bonus mana from all gem matches, so every match you make gets 1 extra of that color. And gains 1 magic when an ally casts a spell. That rainbow link is pretty cool, I gotta say. Would I craft her 4,000 diamonds? No, I don't think so. There are only 2 mythics for Silverglade. The other one is Will of Nisha. And if you are power level blocked there, maybe. But like I said, We've got um, sorry, Ironhawk coming up in the next 2 weeks. If you've been waiting for that, if you've been waiting for High King Iron Gut, if you've been waiting for any specific mythic, a new mythic cycle is starting in a couple weeks. So they could come back around in just a couple weeks. Keep all of that in mind when you decide whether or not to spend your diamonds. Next up is the Champion of Guard. He gains armor, lots of armor, and if there are 13 or more skulls, you get double that armor. Then he creates a mix of 22 blue and red gems. The red will feed back into himself. Not sure what the blue's about, but I mean, that would be way too powerful. He does have spell damage reduction by 50% and skull damage by 60%. Plus, all red allies gain 1 to all stats at the start of each turn. Then we have Obsidius. He's kind of fallen off since Elementalist came into the game. He was significant because this was the only way to get a quick stun on all enemies originally. Well, I mean, it's still the only way to do it for all enemies, but now there's Elementalist. Every time you get a match for, you're going to stun and freeze and everything, something. He does summon a Dust Storm when an enemy dies, and the thing is, he does splash damage, and it is heavy splash damage, which is great, because you do 75% damage to whatever enemy is touching the troop you cast on. But and then there's a 50% chance to do light splash damage, which will do an additional 25% to adjacent enemies. And he destroys a 5x5 block of mana, and that will be taking that mana as if it was matched. All right, Enraged Korindar is always here. Next up we have Amarok. Is that the last one? Amarok? Amarok. Amarok is not bad. You run with a red heavy team and he devours. He really devours because he'll do damage to an enemy, 10% chance to devour them, boosted by red gems and burning enemies. Every burning enemy is an additional 4%. Every red gem on the board is another additional 4%. And if the enemy dies, he creates 9 red gems, meaning he can also loop. So he doesn't get much respect, but I've been using him in delves, and he's actually really good with the right team. He has skull damage reduction by 50%, he's immune to burning and fairy fire, and then he burns and stuns a random enemy when you match 4+ gems. So, yeah, he's pretty powerful. I actually like the troop quite a bit. So that should be it. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, let's move on over to weapons. Always here, always here. Okay, I have all the things. I have all the things. Dawnbringers. All right, light staff. This is one of the cheapo 75 diamond weapons. You want to be sure and get some weapons, unless you're just starting out. You want to try to get some of these cheap weapons so you don't end up getting power level blocked by missing weapons. It is the hardest counter to you getting those power levels up in the game. But anyway, it does damage to an enemy double if there's a light storm and creates a light storm. It also silences the first enemy and self-enchants. So, it's not bad. It's really not. It's just that it only does damage to one enemy, and I like killing all the things at once. Next up, look what's here. The doomed Libram is here. Oh, Guild Wars. My Guild Wars. This is the green tome, does scatter damage, +4 per tempering level. The thing is about the tomes and any one of the doomed weapons is that you have to have the Forge Scrolls to level it up. But now we have the Forge Orbs that can level them up for you. You have the minor orbs that will do 1 level. You've got the major orbs that will level it up all the way. So if you're lucky to get one of those major orbs, you don't have to worry about waiting for Tower of Doom in order to get these leveled up anymore. So if you want to be a troll and set this on your defense team for Green Attack Day, here it is. Next up, we have the Hook Sword. This does damage to an enemy boosted by Shentang allies, then creates a mix of 6 red and yellow gems for each Shentang ally. A lot of the Shentang troops use yellow and red, so if you're going to use a Shentang team, this is a very good weapon for that. Next up is the Sky Hero. This can be used with Zul'Goth, is commonly used with Zul'Goth. Destroy a column for every yellow gem destroyed, create 4 red gems. It doesn't sound like it's that much, but you hit enough yellow gems on that column and you are creating a ton of red on the board. Gotta have some yellow on the board to make it effective, of course, but it's a good red mana generating weapon. Another 75 mana one that is, I said mana, I meant diamonds. Remove all yellow gems, deal damage to an enemy boosted by the gems removed. You won't get any mana out of it, but you will deny it to your enemies. And if the enemy is from Shentang or the battle is in Shentang, deal double damage. And next up, my favorite. I love this weapon. My personal recommendation is that if you're going to craft a weapon and you've got the diamonds for the 300 diamonds, go for the Cobaltine Wand. This is my favorite type of weapon personally. It explodes red gems. That's great all by itself, but it also summons and will grant a random status effect to all Shentang allies if you have some with you. It's great to run with Yao Guai or any team that needs red things blown up. It will bless your hero, it self-enchants, and it silences the first enemy. So it's a really, really good weapon. It's one of my favorite explodey weapons. And I seem to get the mythics off of this quite often. Anyway, that is it for the Soulforge video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye!